maybe even before Egypt can benefit. And we have seen this in the old days during the Nasser declaration, which prevented Abdel Karim Qasim from going into Kuwait, and recently when the Egyptian army just took the initiative against the Iraqi army, and the Kuwait was liberated. So I want the people in the Arab countries to think of the Egyptian problem as the Arab problem.
Yes.
Not Egypt. So people with money in Kuwait or Saudi Arabia should not compare, do they go to Egypt or go to another country? No,
Yes.
They must go to Egypt first for their benefit in the future. So this must remain. And when they do this, they will be partners in Egypt.
Yes.
They can come and speak strongly to the president and say, look, we have interest in the Egyptian economy. You must do this to improve the economy, because we are part of the people who will benefit from the strength of your economy. We are not here only to help the Egyptians. So this is, I think, a factor which must be entered into the equation between Egypt and the Gulf countries, or in fact between Egypt and all the neighboring countries. Sudan needs Egypt, Libya needs Egypt, Syria needs Egypt, and of course other countries as well. Even Iraq, they need Egypt now.
True, true. Well, what I understand, from when we talked is like, you stress on, and everybody's stressing actually on, it's like hitting the right nerve. It's like we should capitalize on the enthusiasm of the Egyptian people right now in order to go ahead with the people. This is a whole thing with the people. How do you, is it related to, some talk that maybe there would be a reshuffle of the cabinet some point in the near future?
Yeah, people talk about this. Personally, I don't think the time is right. If we are really serious about the economic conference in March, then time is very short to get new people responsible about running the country and give them 5 or 6 weeks before they can talk to the people coming from everywhere in the world. So I don't think the time is right. But obviously, the president must see things in a bigger angle, wider angle, and if it happens, then I think it will have its reasons that may not be apparent to us now. And in this respect, we have to remember that when Sadat expelled the Russian experts, everyone felt, oh, how will Egypt be able to solve the problem? But this was the first step towards the great decision of the October War, and it was done successfully. So we must really give room for the president to act, because finally he is the responsible person about running the country, and he will face the responsibility.
Well, we talk a lot about the peasants, and we have problems in some lands that are, we talk about reclamation of lands, but do you think that the peasants here, or the peasant is getting his own right? We've been talking about that, but is he squeezed between the laws, and he's not getting his full right? Otherwise, he would not have left the land and just try to get a position, or let's say a job. In cities, we see a lot of that. We've got, the state puts the price of cotton or the price of the crops. Is that affecting the peasant and his livelihood?
Well, it is affecting the general mood of the majority of the population. The president must carry the people with him.
Yes.
So when there is a decision that may cause some different points of opinion, I think it must be given time to be explained completely, so that most of the people can be convinced and they go with the president. As we have seen with the new project of the Suez Canal extension. But facing some decision suddenly without preparation amongst the people, and without showing the feasibility study or talking about it, may be a little bit too dangerous. If we keep talking about reclaiming 1 million fiddan, for example, with an a year or 2 years now. A year can pass. Now, if the million fadan is not done, it will reflect negatively on the president and on the government, and more importantly, on the mood of the Egyptians,
Yes.
who will feel that as if they cannot do anything or they cannot deliver their promises. And this is a danger that we have to be very, very aware of.
Especially that there's some parties that would love to create that mood to make it happen.
Oh, there are many, many adversaries around Egypt, and they are in contact with people amongst Egypt, and those people talk to people, especially the low and middle class,
Yes.
all the time saying to them, have you benefited from CC until now? Things have been more expensive, things have been, did you find jobs, did you find this, did you find that? So this is a war, I think, staged against the Egyptians, and the president must be aware of it.
Yes. Well, how do you see the, as with the problems, the war that is staged against Egyptians, terrorism that is trying to just, get into Egypt and is fought by the army, and kept at the outskirts, let's say, like the borders, being prevented from entering. How do you see all that, and how would Egypt, in your opinion, with all these problems, trying to tackle all the problems at the same time, in parallel, in order to just rise? How do you see the future of this country going
well,
like that?
it's very simple. I see this being successful by the government showing to the people that it is solving the problem, so that after 1 month or 2 months, the government can say, we have solved the problems that were provided to us 2 months before. But so far, we see the government and the ministers talking about things in the future, and leaving the things that are pending decisions without being solved. And this is not, in my opinion, is not helping the people to be carried with the president. It is not right that the president can move with the fast of an airplane jet while his own people, the 90 millions, are moving after him, not only riding on a tuk-tuk, but on a just Fiat car or something that is not slow enough. The people must be near to the president, to the leader.
Yes.
And the leader must really make sure that the people are with him. It's not good that the leader can be 10 miles ahead of his own army. It will not work.
Well, again, let me just go back to the issue of the land. Dr. Adil Bishay, professor of economics at the American University in Cairo, and well, about agriculture, he's an expert, talked about agriculture for export, and we should not really be planting our lands to eat the food and just, like the remnants that we are exporting. Do you see the point this way? Like they talk about reclamation of land. He said this is not the point, reclamation of land, but then the point is just to use agriculture in order to get money. For example, if he stated the point that if we get asparagus with zero fertilizers, wonderful in the land in Egypt, and Europe goes nuts about that. They really love asparagus, and it can bring us the dollars, the euros. How do you see that point? Not only like asparagus, but this point of planting what would bring us money, not to consume it.
Well, this is the yardstick that should be the measure of any project in Egypt.
Yes.
We want projects to provide jobs for the people,
yes,
so that people can produce, and they can produce enough to cover their needs, and if not, they can produce enough to sell their products abroad, so that they can import what is being needed, so that they raise the standard of the Egyptians as a whole. So this goes without saying. I mean, when we spend a lot of money on reclaiming land, then we must ask ourselves, how shall we get our reward after reclaiming this land?
Yes.
And this is, I think, the challenge facing the government. But right now, Egypt imports most of its food, and this is a huge burden.
Yes.
So Egypt must either be able to cultivate its food or to cultivate some products to sell,
Yes.
get hard currency,
Yes.
which helps Egypt to import the needs of the people. Otherwise, things become more and more expensive, and people suffer more and more, and jobs are not created, and the standard of living is not raised. So people get much more frustrated, annoyed, and hopefully they can do things that no one wants to see being done.
Well, we hope, we don't reach this point. Dr. Ibrahim Fawzy, thank you very much for being with us. You honored us with your presence. And we'll go for a short break, after which we'll be back again. Stay tuned to us, don't go away.